Worse than CNN is MSDNC, which is the worst. And the good news is very few people watch them anymore. They have lost such credibility. And frankly, what Nicole Wallace said, I've never been a fan of hers, and she's not very talented. But I'll tell you, what she said the other day about that young man is disgraceful. She should be forced to resign. And Rachel Maddow should be forced to resign. Nobody watches her anyway. I don't know if it's not possible they pay her as much money as I hear, but certainly she's lost all credibility, both of them. But what they said the other day, they should be forced to resign about that young person who is suffering greatly.
Disgusting. The president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who's thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
But you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up. And then my dad was calling my name. And I started going to the slow thing. And he said, stop playing with me. And I then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, nah, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight. Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, what's going on, family? I hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life, man. And we definitely had to get into this. It's all over my timeline. It's trending right now, and it's not looking good for MSNBC. The fake news, the hatred, the fearmonger, the Trump derangement syndrome. These Democrats, they're done. You see videos everywhere of lifelong Democrats, liberals who have broke the internet. Millions and millions of views. People feeling the exact same way. People leaving the party, abandoned ship. People residing with Trump and the Republican Party now after that disgraceful act from Democrats doing the State of the Union speech. And now MSNBC is in big trouble. MSNDNC is in big trouble. Once again, they hit an all-time low with the ratings these last couple of days after they said that about that 13-year-old boy, cancer survivor, DJ Daniel. And I just don't get how you can say this. And then the lies that come out of Rachel Maddow's mouth and Nicole Wallace. We can't put politics aside, no matter what side you stand on. If you're a liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, if you're in the middle, that we couldn't stand and applaud the young man, celebrate the young man, you know. And then as you go into, if you dive more into DJ's story, the kid has been bullied, harassed, even by his own people. His own people. The videos are all over the internet, everywhere, you know. But we can't stand for a kid with cancer. We can't stand for grieving families, you know. But we can clap. But they clap for sending money to Ukraine, for defending you for Ukraine, to send your money to Ukraine, for funding a war. That's the only things Democrats clap for that night. And saying things like this live on air, on television.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who's thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer.
Now you see how they lie and spin things, you know. And people right now are asking for, but they've been asking for Rachel Maddow to be fired, you know. Still don't know how she gets paid all that money, and the ratings are in the toilet. But people are asking for this woman to be fired. You know, and same with this Nicole lady. And I can't wait to show you this clip from Dan Bongino just in a second, you know. But people are asking for both of these women to be terminated right now, you know. A boy was just fighting for his life, man. And we can't celebrate him, you know. We can't clap for grieving mothers and daughters, grieving families, or that disgraceful pullout, or the guy going to West Point. Well, I mean, we can't clap for anything but sending money to Ukraine. It's a disgrace, man. It really is. And I'm glad that this is all coming out. I'm glad everything happens for a reason. And when will these two right here learn? When will these two learn? Did you see what just happened to your coworker, Joyless Reed? You know, when she had that Trump wig on, calling everybody Nazis, racists, dictators, Hitler, white supremacy, the race card. Did you not learn from your coworker of the fear-mongering, the hatred, the Trump derangement syndrome, the mustard derangement syndrome, and why her ratings tanked and y'all ratings are even worse? Y'all know how when we predicted that she would be gone soon. These two are gonna be gone soon. Just wait for the breaking news of these two. They're out of there. You know, and I think MSNBC ought to just shut the whole thing down. CNN as well, CBS, ABC, all of them. All of them. You know, ought to just shut it all down. Let's get into this. I want to play this clip right here, man, because he hit it spot on.
Back to the show. This is one of the worst moments I have ever seen in the media in response to Donald Trump, recognizing a 13-year-old with brain cancer. This is an analogy you never make. Check this out.
And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Folks, do you understand the level of derangement you have to have and the hatred for Donald Trump? Excuse me, to take from a story of a 13-year-old with brain cancer having his moment as an honorary Secret Service agent. He's not going out there protecting the president. They didn't issue him a firearm last night. It was obviously meant to be a lighthearted moment to celebrate this young man and his battle with this potentially and sometimes likely terminal disease. He's
in moments like this, and I hate to pause it and interrupt because this is on my heart. Moments like this is where we unify. It's where we come together. No matter how we feel about this, no matter what about, we do not politicize this moment. We keep politics out of it. You know, not, like I say, everything Trump does is not always about politics. These moments where this moment right here was a big one for us to just unify, for everybody to get up and clap for the young man, no matter what side you're on. You know, but it's Democrats don't care about Americans. They're not human beings, most of them. They don't have a heart, and it was shown. They voted against everything for the hardworking, working people, the hardworking patriots. Voted against common sense. They still want men and women's sports. You know, they care less if you struggle, if you die. They want your money to go to Ukraine. They care less about your safety. They want it wide open. Come on in. And then we'll fund it too as well. Got warmongers. I mean, it's a disgrace, man. I don't mean to interrupt Dan, but this was supposed to be a unifying moment, man. And that's why I'm making another video on this. That's why. They say, Rick, you just made a video on this the day before yesterday, but I'm making another one because this was supposed to be a unifying moment, man. And this is why they lost, and they will continue to lose. So deranged, so out of touch, so woke, so hateful. There's just certain things you just don't say, man. And you leave politics out of certain things, especially when it comes to kids. That is where you draw the line.
13. And you took out of that let me see. You're on the show, you're like, what do my viewers at MSNBC want to hear tonight? I've got an idea. You ever hear Jesse Waters' joke on the 5 where he says permission to make an analogy? They do that because the running joke is analogies can go wrong really quickly. They can. And you got to kind of be careful on the air. You don't make light of something. So that's kind of where that comes from. I'll give you a little inside baseball. Nicole should have asked the same question. Permission to make an analogy here to January 6th. And I think even the crazies over there would have been like, I can tell you for sure, Guy and Mike will be like, they'd be behind the scenes like.
They be sweating back there. Them producers, them people behind the scene, they be sweating. Same with how they are on the ABC. And the women on the spew. On the spew. Not the view. We call it the spew.
I was just saying that. You want to go to ad or something?
Yeah, Guy would be like, did you sleep well last night? Like, how are your eye? Do you need an eye cream? Guy would stop he may even cut out of the show. There are things you just don't do. This is a young man at 13 who's been through a tragedy in his life. Your viewers, look at this. There's the picture. I mean, you got director Curran. Just enjoy it. You think that sorry, guys. I can't imagine watching this program on MSNBC and thinking, I really hope somebody makes a January 6th analogy. Like, what? Oh, my gosh. They have this title, You Just Don't Hate the Media Enough. I guess not in this case. I can't imagine a worse moment. I don't care about Nicole Wallace. I don't do media boycotts. It's a waste of everybody's time. Just telling you, if someone at NBC doesn't call her up and be like, you really need to apologize, I would be astonished. It's just a terrible moment. Here's another.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan, man. Y'all know we love Dan. All of us. It's a disgrace, man. It really is.
Beautiful.
Democrats ought to be ashamed of themselves.
And on a volleyball court. Democrats didn't stand for an innocent and beautiful child who is surviving brain cancer. They opposed eliminating taxes on tips and Social Security. They didn't stand in favor of cutting taxes for hardworking Americans. They couldn't even clap for 2 mothers whose daughters were killed by illegal aliens. One of the only things that could get Democrats off their feet last night was cheering for Ukraine, not for America. Last night was a very clarifying moment for our country. The Democrats exposed themselves as the party of insanity and hate, the party that wants to put America last. They've allowed their Trump derangement syndrome to stop them from celebrating America and our people, and we will not allow them to forget that. And it's not just the Democrat Party. The mainstream media still doesn't get it. Last night, MSNBC's Nicole Wallace disgustingly looped in a 13-year-old boy with brain cancer into an attack on the president over January 6th. And CNN's first chyron out of the speech called it divisive. President Trump wasn't divisive. the Democrats were. And CNN was proven wrong by their own viewers, 69% of whom, in a post-speech poll, said they had a positive reaction to the president's speech. It's sad and frankly pathetic that Democrats and liberals in the legacy media continue to allow their hatred for the president to override their love for our country. But nevertheless, the president will continue to unify this nation through policies that are grounded in common sense and that uplift all Americans.
You know, but I really don't get how you it's enough. It's like enough is enough, man. You know, and y'all know I'm what I advocate for is people to be made an example out of, people to be held accountable. I want to see people fired, sued, arrested. Put your hands behind your back, and it's a bunch of people, man. It's a bunch of people, man. You know, but this lady right here almost threw up. Rachel Maddow busted for lying again. Let's check this out. I want to check this. I want to throw this in on the show because I don't know what it is.
A cost to us as a news organization to knowingly broadcast untrue things. We are here to bring you the news. Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Yeah, buddy. But what do y'all think of this, man? And this is the dad. The dad responded to I believe responded to them. She needs to shut her mouth. The dad of teen cancer survivor who Trump honored blast Rachel Maddow. He said, I think he said to both hosts, they need to shut their mouth. That was the dad of the little kid. But just a disgrace, you guys. It really is, man. And I love how Trump came out and responded and said they should be forced to resign. You know, I love that Trump came out and said this.
Worse than CNN is MSNBC, which is the worst. And the good news is very few people watch them anymore. They have lost such credibility. And frankly, what Nicole Wallace said, I've never been a fan of hers, and she's not very talented. But I'll tell you, what she said the other day about that young man is disgraceful. She should be forced to resign. And Rachel Maddow should be forced to resign. Nobody watches her anyway. I don't know if it's not possible they pay her as much money as I hear. But certainly she's lost all credibility, both of them. But what they said the other day, they should be forced to resign about that young person.
Yeah. And I just want to see if we can pull up some clips of DJ real quick. You know, and I love how Trump invited the entire family inside the Oval Office. He gave them a hug and everything, man. You know, I love it. And he's just getting love everywhere he goes.
Say to the people, man.
Well, I did have hair at once, but I was going bald-headed, and now I'm bald-headed and sexy. If you need a sexy man, call me at 281-771-9698.
Y'all heard him. Said you need another sexy. I'm right. I ain't gonna give you my number, but we.
Shout out to Houston, Texas plug, man. He has one of the best food trucks next to where I live. Y'all know I'm over. That's where I reside. Houston, Texas, man. You know. But I want to show this because he got harassed and made fun of, man, last year. And like I tell y'all, the sun comes after the rain. The sun comes after the rain. Amen.
You can't arrest me. You too cocky.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Of them all, I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Loved his face, man. Loved his face. That right there. That right there. No matter what side you stand on, this is what unifies us right here as Americans. This right here is what unifies us. Could give a damn what side you're on. I don't care. I had a family member the day before yesterday call this a photo op and call it this and that and call, because they're just so Trump hatred and deranged. And I just had to stop talking to them. Because we just can't put politics aside. You didn't have to go through them 13 brain surgeries. That little kid did. I don't care what you think it is. If it's a photo op, if it's this, is that, if this, is that, at least somebody cared. And guess who did? The man that y'all hate. You drag conservatives through the mud. You drag MAGA through the mud. But this right here is supposed to unify us, man. Got a little tear coming out, man. But I'm glad that this guy's a superstar now.
Such an honor to have met you.
Hold up, I got one more thing to say.
What? He has one more thing to say. I won't interrupt you.
If you're a Democrat and you're being mean to President Trump, I'm on your bumper.
Love that little kid, man. But I love you guys. Thank y'all for just tuning in today's video. I really do love y'all, man. And all the love and support that we've been getting and calling out the corruption, independent media. We've been working so hard, man. So hard. But God bless you all and your families.
What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a big evening.